The first time I really prayed desperately with God was when I was 15, in the last year of my GCSEs, as a close friend got leukemia. I felt so powerless. The only thing I knew what to do was to pray. Sometimes I'd come to God just so angry or crying. Before this, my concept of prayer was that you had to come to God happy, but I've learned that He just wants us to come as we are. This was definitely a changing point in how I prayed and in my faith. I gave my life to Jesus when I was 3.5 years old. I always loved the idea of praying just as long as it was in my head. Praying out loud scared me. When I did pray out loud, I usually had planned what to say because I was so nervous or went for a safe prayer. Then James came to our youth service, Refresh, which is run by Vision, which is our local youth work charity. God had planned it, but man hadn't, as we was meant to have a different speaker. The door which was opened when he spoke was amazing. A few of us were inspired to start a prayer group. It was so encouraging to see the changes our prayers were making, but I still struggled praying out loud. I really felt like God was saying to split off and start another prayer group, so I did. When I went to my first Prayer Storm event, I'd never experienced anything like it before. It was incredible to see the desire and the longing in the people around me. A year later, I went to the Furnaces and then the boot camp. Literally, these last 6 months of going to Prayer Storm has changed my life. Even small things like I don't mind praying out loud now. God has really took gifts He's given me from being a flicker to a fire. He has shown me how to fight in the spiritual and take chains which once held me back and make them into weapons for Him. I've grown so much with God, but I never want to be comfortable with where I am with Him. I want a life pursuing God, to burn how He wants me to burn with a passion. I want to live and die for bigger things than myself. I really enjoyed painting, and at the moment God has been showing me how to use art for Him. I feel like something which is important is to take worship and make it your prayer, but also your battle cry. With true worship comes freedom. There was a reason why musicians led the army into battle in the Bible. A verse that has always stuck out to me throughout my life is in the book of Esther. If you keep quiet at this time, someone else will come and save the Jewish people. But you and your father's family will all die. Who knows, you may have been chosen queen for such a time as this. There has always been specific situations where this has come up for me, but I feel like with this new awakening, it's really relevant to situations in this Rosendale Valley. I don't want to keep silent and let someone else do the work that God has set out for me. I'm Naomi, I'm 18, and I'm a prayer warrior.